Good morning from Nebraska. It's 0 and we're having a blizzard. It's very cold. See if I'll turn my laptop and let you take a look out there. Winds are about 40 miles an hour and it's our second blizzard storm. So this is a short video. I'm going to cover travel advice. So it's going to be quick. So here we go. First thing you want to do when you're booking your airline tickets is find a airline that you can afford to get you overseas to Paris or wherever you want to go. And you can do that through any number of sites. Just know that if you buy your tickets through Expedia, Orbitz, or one of these other sites, that the airline, like Delta, if there's a flight issue, they're going to tell you to contact Orbitz or Expedia. They might be courteous and they'll try to help you out, but ultimately, if there's a refund issue or the flight's been canceled, they're going to refer you to the third party you did business with. So I would say I recommend that you book directly with the airline. You can look through Skyscanner and find an airline that might fit your schedule, but I would definitely check the carriers themselves. Another thing to look for is when you're at the airport, what's your layover time when you're buying your ticket? Look at the details to see, like American Airlines, I flew them from Omaha to Paris, and when I got to Dallas Fort Worth, I didn't quite get that the layover was 3 hours and 40 minutes. That's a long time to sit. So now when I look at bookings and I say, okay, how long am I sitting at this airport? Because you're not going through customs going. Um, so I try to keep it within 2 hours so I'm not stuck just sitting at the airport because you're going to eat on the flight going over. And so I don't want to fill up at the airport with lunch. For a dinner flight that gets me in, leaves at 5:30, have dinner, watch a movie, then 11 o'clock, call it a night. Another thing, so watch out for your layover time in the airport, and then look for airports that are easy to get around. I like Delta because I fly to Detroit. There's only two terminals. It's no problem to get around. Minneapolis is a little bit more of a challenge, and Atlanta Airport, I just don't feel like all that traffic. So if you're flying and you go to Hartsfield, it's extremely busy. You come out of your flight, you walk out in the main terminal, and it's an ocean of people. Detroit, happily, is not that way. At your gate, yeah, okay, there's probably going to be about 300 people waiting to board, but getting around the airport, you're not struggling to get through crowds with your carry-on. If you want to sit and eat, there's still a choice of restaurants, but you don't have, 10,000 people in the terminal area like downtown Manhattan, New York, trying to get past people to get to Broadway for a show. Another thing is that with the airlines, miles and cash, and then all miles. Delta will let you do a combination of both. American, I don't. When I last flew, the answer was no. You have to pay that value of miles, and then they give you a selection of flights within those miles. So if it's going to cost you 140,000 miles to fly round trip, American will offer you only maybe 3 or 4 flights versus if you were paying with cash, there would be 10. And so you're not getting the best choices. Delta will let you use your miles if you have American Express credit card as cash. Or if you have miles, then you can apply them towards your trip. The advantage is you're not restricted on Delta flights to use your miles. Excuse me, to use your miles. You can use them whether you want to use cash, whether it's 50, 100, 200, 250, $300 to take a discount off your ticket. And then the other benefit is if you can only fly, let's say you want to fly cheap, so you fly main cabin going over. On the return flight, it's a 9.5 hour return because you're flying against the wind. It's a long trip. You've been over there 10 to 15 days. You're exhausted. You want to get your bag on board. There's 200, 300 something people boarding with you. Think about upgrading that leg of the journey. With Delta, I do upgrade the return leg so that on the way back, I board if I'm in Comfort Plus or the new service, not Delta One, Delta Premium Select, which is between First and Delta Comfort Plus. So if I upgrade that section on the return flight, I save money, but on the return, then I'm getting a better seat, premium boarding, a better menu to eat from, more comfort, and I'll get to put my bag away and have time to put my bag away and stow it before the other 300 people get on. So it's something to think about. If you say, well, I'm not sure it's worth it, 9.5 hours is a long flight back to the States. If you're older, you're trying to be comfortable, it's tough to do it back in the back. Try to see if you can book Comfort Plus on the leg return leg. That gets you up near the front. If you're on one of their A330s, it's two, three, and two seating. So then you can opt for the two seating. That way you're not having to climb over anybody. And then always sit back a couple uh, seats from the galley and the door. Because if you're sitting at the door, it's going to be cold. Uh, I've never had any luck with sitting by the door. Yeah, you get the extra leg room. Yeah, you're at the galley. Yeah, you've got the bathrooms. But the fact is, you're going to be cold. It gets, I don't know, 40, 50 degrees, maybe 60. But and then all the noise from the galley. I would check Seat Guru, which is a great flight site. You can put in your carrier, your flight number, and the date of your travel, and they'll show you the plane you're on and red, yellow, and green how bad or good the seat is. And so then you can pick a seat that's more comfortable for you. Even if you're all the way back in main cabin, they'll still show you, like, some of those seats have a Vox unit. So there's a video control unit, and so the leg room is cut in half. Well, I don't want to sit with my legs tucked up underneath me. So they'll have customers will leave reviews like, oh, I sat in this seat and it was great. There was plenty of leg room. Or I sat in the seat and there was a Vox unit and I could only like stretch out one leg at a time. And so that's something to think about. Anyway, this is a short video about just a few high points I've hit on. I'm going to do a few more of these um, to help you when you're purchasing tickets. The next video, I'm going to go over about we stay with Airbnb and what to do about traveling to France, booking Airbnb, doing tours through Airbnb or other providers, and making sure that your ticket is fully refundable, that, whoever you're buying from, that there's a way for you to either get your money back and it doesn't involve fees. That's the biggest scam going, is the excess of fees. So I'll talk about that in the next video. I'm going to close this one up for now, but thank you for watching and happy travels.